Hey everyone, Ryan here, and welcome back to another Smash Bros. Ultimate video. We have only 95 days until Smash Ultimate is released on the Nintendo Switch, so go ahead and smash that subscribe button for more videos like this one, and join my Discord server and follow me on Twitter if you want to talk to me directly. So in this video, I wanted to reminisce about Melee's Adventure Mode. And in the next video, I will do the same for Brawl's Adventure Mode, which we know better as the Subspace Emissary, and this trip down memory lane is to remember what I personally loved so much about both of these adventure modes, and how they could potentially influence Ultimate's potential adventure mode as well. Note that this is just my opinion, and this doesn't mean this is what the new mode's gonna look like. This is just for fun, not for glory. So first off, I'm sure you already know about the Spirits mode thing, and whether or not that's the actual name or just a placeholder, we're all assuming that this is the new Adventure / Subspace mode. So we've all seen people talk about the Monster Hunter stage from the August 8th Direct. It's not listed on the Smash website under stages, it's completely flat with walk-offs and no platforms, all of which is screaming an adventure-style boss fight. But I think even more telling is this scene here where Rathalos flies onto the screen and shrieks. This is clearly in-game footage of some sort, so where's it coming from? We know a stage hazard doesn't get this kind of welcome, and also that his assist trophy doesn't get this view either. So this has to be from some single player mode, most likely the adventure mode. So reminiscing about Melee's adventure mode. First, I love how most major franchises got their own themed stage, including the location, the enemies, the music, and even some of the items. So the first stage is the Mushroom Kingdom, and it was just so cool that you could explore this classic place, which was true to form, but with a Smash twist. You still jump to hit blocks and get items, jump on Goombas and Koopas to defeat them, and race to the flag at the end of the level. And you could do this with any character you wanted to from the playable roster. Second, I loved how there were all these little secrets and alternate routes sprinkled throughout the adventure mode. For example, if you finish this first part with a 2 as the second digit in the seconds place, you fight against Luigi and Peach instead of Mario and Peach. And then if you defeated them in under a minute and complete the rest of the mode without continues, that was a way to unlock Luigi. And I just love how they implemented these creative unlocking criteria, even if they were a bit challenging to pull off. Or rather, especially because they were challenging, because then you really felt like you earned that new secret character. I also, as a side note, really hope the point system returns for Ultimate's classic and adventure modes, because all of those things were always fun to see at the end, and I always tried to get that fighter stance bonus by using the taunt just as you launched an enemy on their last stock. So the second stage was Congo Jungle, and most memorable for me was fighting those tiny Donkey Kongs with the Donkey Kong rap in the background. I don't know if this was a reference to Tiny Kong, but it always cracked me up for some reason. And then to fight the giant DK in the second part. It's crazy to think that back then Donkey Kong was the only, Donkey Kong rep, and of course now we have 3, and with a very possible Dixie Echo we could have up to 4. The third stage was the Underground Maze, and this map was a really cool change of pace since it wasn't linear, and the Triforce which you needed to find was in a different room each time. It was definitely easy for me to get lost in this level, but it was still really fun and different. And then of course, how you can collect trophies along the way for each of these stages was always a nice addition, especially if you're a completionist like myself. The next stage is Brinstar, and I love this stage because it was so thematically appropriate and worked really well combining Metroid and Smash. Fighting Samus on the Brinstar stage with the rising lava, and then having to escape with the alarm going off and the stage shaking and the intense music, it was super nostalgic for me just to see this gameplay footage, and definitely one of the most memorable stages of this mode for me. The next stage was Green Greens, And I love just how they connected some of these stages together. So you'd fly to Green Greens as Planet Zebes explodes in the background. It was a really creative way to tie things together. And I wish there was a bit more of that in this mode. Obviously, Subspace Emissary brought this to a whole new level with the cutscenes, and I could talk a lot more about that, so I'm going to save it for another video. And another bonus fight here was fighting Giant Kirby. So if you cleared the single and team battles fast enough, you got to unlock this bonus fight and you could get more points at the end. And I don't know, but hearing Giant Kirby after he was launched was really, really funny. So the next stage is Corneria, and there's actually a kind of cool thing going on in this stage, and I didn't really realize it until much later. But you'd first fight a fox who is very defensive and elusive, so he literally would shield and run away from you to the other side of the map. And then the second fox, or Falco if you unlocked him, was obviously tougher, but he was much more offensive and aggressive in his playstyle, so it's kind of cool how they implemented those different tactics in each part of the stage. The next stage was the Pokemon Stadium, and you would fight a crew of Pokemon with Pokeballs as the only item, and the number remaining would quickly count down on the screen in the back. Now I feel like there was kind of a missed opportunity here since I really love the Pokefloat stage, but anyway, this was one of the quicker stages of the entire mode for sure. So the next stage was the F-Zero stage, and this was another one of my all-time favorites, where you'd race on Big Blue along with that epic soundtrack and have to avoid the cars racing by. So that was always super fun, and I really liked that stage for sure. The next one is Onett from Earthbound, and I like this fight too because first I love this stage with the cars that basically commit hit and runs all over the place, and then the only item to spawn is a bunch of Mr. Saturns, which makes for some funny moments. And definitely, no questions asked, the best item in Smash. Stage 10 is the Ice Climber stage, and now, while this definitely wasn't particularly one of my favorite stages from Melee, I still like the idea of scaling the mountain with the Balloon Fighter theme in the background, and then you eventually catch up to where Popo and Nana were climbing and knock them out. So stage 11 is Battlefield, and finally you get to the multi-man smash, fighting the wireframes with the epic music on Battlefield, and then Metal Mario, or Metal Mario and Luigi if you have him unlocked as well. And then of course, Final Destination, we have that giant Bowser fight, and then if you beat the mode fast enough without continues on normal or higher difficulty, then you get the Giga Bowser fight. And of course that is so well known and just a great way to end this adventure mode. So to review, I love that this mode had a ton of replay value and you could play through it all in one sitting. It was fun and varied enough that you could clear it with multiple characters without it ever getting stale, even if it dragged on in some areas. But that being said, I think there's a lot of room for improvement, and Subspace Emissary did some things a lot better, and did some things not quite as good. So I think a healthy balance from both modes would be awesome to see in Ultimate. But what do you guys think? As always, I love to hear what you have to say in the comments down below. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and consider subscribing to my channel for more on Smash Ultimate and all things Nintendo Switch. Until next time guys, bye.